We are here with the round 23 recap, looking at what happened with the results of the games, what it means for our ladder as we head into the final round. Collingwood, they came in, they have avoided the wooden spoon. They've come in with a big win over Brisbane. You had North with another team near the bottom defeating a top 4 team here. This has been happening quite a bit recently. You had the Giants with the big victory. Sydney over Adelaide, helping, I think, secure their spot in the 8. Adelaide, was very poor for them to miss out just there. Gold Coast were eliminated from finals contention thanks to a Carlton victory. It was St Kilda getting on top of Geelong, and you had the Bulldogs yesterday, big win over the Eagles. Freo securing, I believe, top spot on the ladder with a win over Port Adelaide, and we just came from Melbourne securing their spot in the finals with a comeback victory in the last quarter against Hawthorn, who are now secured the wooden spoon. We will look at the ladder to showcase this. Yes, it is Freo on top. They will finish on top as well. They are 1 game clear of GWS and the Bulldogs, who are playing for a home final in the first week. You have Richmond here as well, who are in 4th place. We look at who else is here. Melbourne are safe. Sydney are not safe yet. Sydney are not safe yet. It is Sydney and Melbourne do play each other in the next game, so that's very important to see. But Melbourne are secured in the finals thanks to their win over Hawthorn. We look around, you see Brisbane and Port Adelaide are the two remaining two other teams currently in the top 8. They are each on 44. You have St Kilda just outside, also on 44. St Kilda and Brisbane will play each other in the final round, so one of them will secure their spot with the victory, as long as it is a victory. A draw would make things interesting. Adelaide and Essendon, both still in the hunt. They have 42 points. If there are enough, if there is a draw between Brisbane and St Kilda, that could potentially help them. No, it would not. No, that would not help them. They would need, both of these teams are requiring a Port Adelaide loss. So Port Adelaide are the key here. Adelaide and Essendon each still with a chance of making it in. Geelong are still with a chance as well. They are on 40 points, but it all depends on what happens in the Port Adelaide-Richmond game. As for if any of these teams will have a chance of being able to secure their spot in September. You have Gold Coast and Carlton both eliminated. They are on 40 points, but they are eliminated from finals contention. We look at our bottom 4. West Coast, North Melbourne, Collingwood, whose percentage is 104. They have avoided the wooden spoon. It would have been interesting had Hawthorn won the last game they had just missed out on. They did not. Collingwood have won 4 of their last 5, a percentage of 104. We will see where they ultimately end up. They could end up in 15th position, depending on how we go. So the next game we will have, it will be Sydney and Melbourne. We look at the rest of the fixtures of what you have. You have the final round. The Gold Coast North one does not matter. Brisbane St Kilda, one team will be in, one team will be out. Port versus Melbourne. If Port win, they are in. If they lose, it will be decided on if Essendon can beat Collingwood. Geelong can beat Bulldogs. If Adelaide can beat West Coast, that is what we will find out. Sydney, Melbourne will not determine anything except for Sydney will be trying to still play to secure their spot in the finals. Because if they lose, and some of these teams that are below, I believe, Sydney lose, then no, Sydney are secured. Sydney are secured because Brisbane and St Kilda play each other and no other teams can catch them. So Sydney are safe. This game does not matter in terms of if teams make finals. Sydney, Melbourne are both fine. Okay. That's good to know. That is where we are looking at it. And that's what our outlook is moving forward. Freo will finish on top. Hawthorn will finish on bottom. There are teams that can still move around. The winner of Sydney, Melbourne will be 5th place. Brisbane could still miss out. Brisbane, Port Adelaide, St Kilda, Adelaide, Essendon, and Geelong. Those are the teams still fighting for finals positions going in to the final round.